Hello and welcome to my studio journal. Now back in 2022, I started to redesign my home studio, shifting from software to hardware for the first time. What began as a few videos for some curious students soon became an ongoing unfiltered record. Speaking of tape, we're not quite done yet. You see there's a patch right there. You can barely see it. That's because something has fallen off of there, and I don't know if I've talked about that before in my studio or not, what it's for. So let's find whatever that is that fell off there and reattach it using that tape that we just used for this other project. This is another little project, I guess. This worked out well, but the problem is, once again, the tape that was on this just wasn't good enough to last. And this was once again stuff I had from just around the house. So it wasn't very good. It wasn't really meant to do what I did with it. But we're going to try this new tape, see if that makes a difference. Now, we're supposed to clean the surface out. Now, how you clean the surface is something like this. I don't know if we have to because, in all honesty, it's Velcro. Ouch. Okay, so that's going to go there. It's going to go there. This is probably not going to... You see, that was the problem. This stuff just... It didn't stick. But then you have this one over here. I mean, you can't pull it off without pulling off the box, so I'm not even going to bother with that one. Okay, so if we put this here and put this, we're going to have to put another shot of this tape here. And it'll either stay or it won't. If it falls off, it falls off again. There's nothing much we can do about it. So, set timer for 1 minute.
1 minute, starting now.
So I'm just going to push down on these two pieces of Velcro, hoping that something happens and that these things actually stick. And I'll explain what this box does in a while. This box is actually hooked up just on the side of my filing cabinet, and that's where it was kind of handy. And it has a button on the other side that I just push. And when you push that button, what's timer left on, so what time is left on timer?
You have 20 seconds left on your 1 minute timer.
Am I really going to do this for 20 more seconds? But anyhow, the idea is, while I'm doing this, oh, there it is. Stop. And while I do this, set 1 minute on the timer. Didn't know if it set a timer or not. Anyhow, so what this is it's made by Ugreen. There's a button here. So what ends up happening is you have input 1 and 2, and then you have peripherals here, and by pressing this button, you can switch between the computer. But in my case, what I'm doing is I'm switching between the computer and the Akai Force. So when I press the button and it's running on 1, everything in the studio is controlled by Logic or Ableton or anything like that by the computer. If I press the button again, and this time it goes to number 2, it switches everything over to the Akai Force, so everything, including the Machine Plus and everything, is run by the Akai Force. Peel off this thing. More junk on my desk. All right. Set timer for 1 minute.
1 minute, starting now.
So I'm going to, once again, hold this thing down just for a bit so it makes it, solidifies it. And then I'm going to have to hold this to the side of the cabinet for a minute. I don't know, we'll see how that goes. But I found this tape is incredible with what it sticks to. Time on timer.
You have 20 seconds seconds left on your 1 minute timer.
And hopefully by the time she says that, I only have 10 seconds left. We'll see what happens. That's the next step. Once this gets done, then that's just one more thing that just kind of got away from me in the studio here. While we're on the process of tidying things up and getting everything ready for the workday tomorrow. All right. So now it's just a matter of sticking this to the side of the cabinet. Okay, there it is, attached to the side of the cabinet. Now we'll see when I come in tomorrow morning if that's on the floor or if it's actually stayed there. But that's the switch right there that controls where everything in the studio goes, in between either the Akai Force or the computer itself. This is the close of the day, and as we see that it looks very much different than what it did earlier this morning. I still have to work on that top shelf yet, because I'm not sure how I want to MIDI sequence all that up, but all these shelves now have the Velcro on them, so they can be slid in and out. Everything has been hooked up. It's all in working place. I'm hoping to have maybe a Behringer 2600 up there at one point at the very top shelf, but that wall is now done. And so while everything on the synth wall is connected up, now everything in the rack unit finally is connected with the correct cords and ready to go, as well as made the stand for the Volt 476. So now that looks a little bit better. We also stuck that switch on the side of the filing cabinet that changes the studio over from just being used by the computer to the Akai Force. We got everything hooked into the sub-mixers. We got all the mixers set up. The Native Instruments machine equipment's all going. And everything on the piano wall is all set up. So now it's just a matter of figuring out some of this other gear. And by other gear, I mean that. Exactly how I'm going to MIDI that up yet, I haven't quite decided, because it could also possibly go there, and it might fit better, but I don't know. We'll see. And I still have to MIDI up all the Korg Volcas and see how I plan on getting that mixed in and either used by the Akai Force or the computer or both. I can do probably that the same way. If you'd like to follow the full journey, check out my online studio journal linked in the description. Until next time, I'm just a music teacher having fun. Catch you on the next one.